are so many opinions when you are quitting alcohol, when you are in early sobriety or addiction recovery, about where you should go, what you should do, how you should do it, what sobriety or recovery even looks like. There's so many voices and noise, it's almost overwhelming to the point that it can make people feel like, what's the point in even trying? There is no right or wrong answer. There is no one way or the right way or the wrong way. It comes down to what works for you. And my hope with this video is to help you have a clear idea of maybe the path ahead for you to choose by talking about the pros and cons of support groups in general, but primarily a warning that I really hope that you listen to. But before we get into that, hit the like button if you're sober. Hit the like button if you're thinking about getting sober. Leave your sober date in the comments below and share this video if you find it valuable. Now let's just focus first and foremost on the pros. No matter where you go, no matter what you find works for you, the pros of any support group is community. Sobriety can feel very isolating, it can feel very lonely, and if you find a support group that works for you, you get to find a community of like-minded people who understand exactly what you're going through. And there's not a value that you can place on that. It's something that is a necessity in sobriety. Oftentimes in these support groups, you don't even have to share your own story, your own experience, but you can sit and listen and find inspiration and connection with other people when they share their story. That way, if you think that no one understands a specific struggle that you're going through, you'll probably find a story or someone who understands exactly how you're feeling. But conversely, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, what happens if that community is not available? Another pro about support groups is that oftentimes they have programs, parameters, ideas, concepts that have worked for so many others when it comes to quitting alcohol or overcoming addiction. But these things can be really beneficial because you don't have to think. You can just kind of almost do as you're told. And that can be really helpful when you just have no idea where to start. But conversely, what happens if the program doesn't work for you? What if it goes away? What if the program is simply not accessible because you don't live in a part of the world where there's a support group with a program that actually can help you figure out how to deal with sobriety and how to overcome addiction and everything that comes with it? And what if you're someone that doesn't want to be told what to do because you tend to think outside the box, or you tend to go against the grain, or you want to figure out your own path through sobriety that maybe picks and chooses from different ways and walks when it comes to sobriety? So while these programs can be really beneficial, they can also kind of be a hindrance for some people. I'm not saying it's a hindrance for everyone, but not every program works for every single person. We are all unique individuals, and our sobriety is unique to us and our journey. And while the foundation and basis of many programs out there do work and are amazing, sometimes it can also just be a hindrance and not really help you in the long run. But ultimately, that's for you to figure out for yourself. But having a set program, having a method to follow is super beneficial when it comes to sobriety. So a couple of pros there for you when it comes to support groups. You have community and you have programs that can truly help and support you in your sober journey. And I've already alluded to some cons of it. I hate to say the word cons because it's really just not a fair word, but that's the point of this video. A con for you might not be a con for someone else. A pro for you might not be a pro for someone else. And that's where it can get a little kind of murky when it comes to support groups. Do you have to go to this one in order to be sober or to be recovered? Do you have to follow this path or this one in order to be in recovery? So sometimes in support groups, certain voices can be very off-putting because they can make you feel like you're not going to recover, or you can't recover if you don't do a certain process or a certain program. And in my opinion, who am I to tell anyone what their sobriety looks like? I can make suggestions, I can be kind and loving and supportive and impeccable about my thoughts and my feelings, but ultimately, I'm never gonna make someone feel damned because they choose to go a different route. And unfortunately, sometimes there's always a bad apple in a bunch, and it can kind of sour the taste in your mouth when it comes to certain support groups. And then the second con, this is the warning I kind of mentioned at the beginning. What happens if it all goes away? And we don't even have to actually hypothesize this idea because COVID happened. In 2020, everybody lost their support groups. Whatever their meeting was, wherever their meeting was, they went away. And I know so many people that relapsed during that time because suddenly their support group was completely gone. And the biggest downfall, hindrance of a support group is that it can become a crutch. It can become the only way that you know how to exist in sobriety, with people around who understand you, with meetings to go to, with programs that you have been led to believe or have come to believe are the end-all be-all for your sobriety. But at the end of the day, you are by yourself. You are responsible for your sobriety. No meeting, no program, No support group can make you drink or not drink, do drugs or not do drugs, give into the addiction or not give into the addiction, whatever it is. We cannot be in a support group 24/7. It is not possible. And as COVID proved, if we lean on the support groups too much, it does set us up for failure. And failure is probably not even the right way to put it, because that makes us feel like we've done something wrong. But no matter what, whenever we fall, whenever we fail, whenever we stumble, whenever we relapse, it's an amazing opportunity to learn what we can do differently the next time around. So there is a balance in embracing support groups, being part of a support group, but also knowing that you don't need it. And I think in all of this, that is one of the most important takeaways I hope that you hear in this video, is that when it comes down to it, you are your best support group. The Sober Path and the program that you design for yourself is the one that will never let you down. So while I love and support groups, I also love and support the idea of the sober journey being one of solitude and one of finding out how you can stand on your feet all by yourself without alcohol, without addiction, and without support groups. So my friends, when it comes to quitting alcohol, when it comes to early sobriety and addiction recovery, there are so many pros and cons to everything. We can talk ourselves in circles about this works or that works, this doesn't work or that doesn't work. You've got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to come to believe that you are strong and you are resilient, but I do believe support groups are vital to sobriety and recovery. But I also think it's more vital and more important that you figure it out on your own and use these support groups just to support instead of just becoming the only support. Hit the like button if any of this makes sense, and share it if you found it valuable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but more importantly, in the comments, let me know ideas and topics that you want to discuss so I can support your journey based on what works for you or what doesn't work for you. And of course, like always, I really hope that you'll consider subscribing. You can just hit the button right down there. I think it's there, boop, boop, boop. Go ahead and hit it for me. Because with all the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, that's how the algorithm gods send this video out to those that need to hear it. That's how you can support not only this channel, but other people who want to start the sober journey as well. I really appreciate your time. Until I see you all again, much love, much life. I'm Clark with the Sober Webb. Talk to you really soon. Bye.